Good morning, everyone. I'm in the fish room, as you can tell. I'm going to catch some fish. I think I'm going to take some bettas to work, some goldfish to work, and I need to grab some medicine because I took home a big jug, and then I realized I hadn't ordered a jug yet for this to replace that one, so I want to make sure I have it sitting at the store. But yeah, that's where I'm getting started. You know, as always, you'll see what I do today. So I've got 5 more bettas loaded up to go into the store, where we'll put them in their 20-gallon tanks or larger. Got this koi betta right here. The backlighting's terrible for this, by the way. I don't know if I can make this better. I don't really have overhead lighting on, but then we've got this Dumbo plakat. It's not really too Dumbo though. Maybe it's just a koi. It must be just a koi, even though it's not super koi pattern yet. Another koi betta over here. Yeah, this is terrible lighting for this, but another koi betta. And another koi betta. So basically bringing 5 kois in today. And let me turn the light on and see if I can't make that a little bit better. I don't think it's going to make it much better. No, it didn't, because I don't have any light over here anymore. I took it down and recycled it. So, but now I'm going to load up goldfish, and then I'll be on my way to the store here pretty soon. So we've been super busy at the store. It's been hard to film, but I thought I'd bring you guys here in the quarantine room. I had some people asking me to show the rice fish, the Medakah rice fish that came in. So they seem to be doing pretty well, actually, which is good. They're not, one of the colorful forms, just the generic one, but that's a good thing. Here's all the cherry barbs we brought in. We've got Ember Tetras there, Remy's there still. Up top we've got Reservoir Hets, and then we've got Black Neons, then we've got Cardinal Tetras, we've got more Balloon Mollies, Threadfin Rainbows. What else do I have without having to get up? Well, I guess I have to get up here. Ooh. Here's some chocolate cichlids, special order, but now we're looking for a home. So if you're watching this, Lucas, maybe you need some chocolate cichlids. Over here we've got lots of guppies. Whoa, making a loud noise, Those guys are in quarantine. Yeah, so that's what we've got there. Now I gotta unload my van. I got a bunch of sand from the other day that you guys watched. We gotta unload that, get that packing. And then I thought of something good that I'm gonna try. It's gonna take a little bit. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm thinking about putting wood packages together. So what that means is, like, here's all these boxes down here. These are all the boxes so far that don't require plants, which most of you guys order plants. So this is what we can get ready to go out tomorrow, but there's a bunch of orders we're going to pack tomorrow morning that have plants in it. Anyway, so I'm thinking about, what if I made packages that had these plants, or these pieces of wood, and I fit it in those boxes, and you just had to buy like a little box worth of wood, because, so let's say I put this stick on the website, right? I'm not sure it fits into a box, and so you buy it, and then I go, oh gee, it's going to cost me $1 million to ship it to you. But if I only show you sticks that fit in the box, and we do what you see is what you get, like we do with the stone, I think that might work. So we could probably do manzanita wood, and we could probably do select pieces of the Mopani wood. Now, or this isn't Mopani, Malaysian driftwood. Now the problem is, it won't be cheap to ship, but we have lots of cool pieces. It'll still be flat rate shipping, so, I'll see what I can do. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. If you do, I'll probably test pilot it, start selling really well. That's a good thing. If it doesn't, then we'll lay off it, because it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of storage space. Once you start taking, let's say I did all that wood over there, it might be, 100 of these boxes, and all of a sudden it's like the entire wall over in the storage area. And obviously we're not going to be able to ship big pieces like that up there. Like that's I think a $50 piece of manzanita that's over 3 feet long. We got another one there. So those we actually have to have shipped to us by Greyhound, and but I am listening. I am trying to improve. But now I gotta go unload sand. I'm doing anything I can to put that off. But I'm gonna go do it, so that way I'm free for the rest of the day. Well, not free, but I won't have that hanging over my head. So we'll see in a little bit. So I'm just gonna focus in on a plant we don't carry very often. and that's this Marsillia minuta. You hear me mention it all the time on the live streams. This is one of the few plants that can carpet and is like low to medium light, doesn't require CO2. So, you know, we happen to have a bunch of it in stock right now. If you were to order a medium light plant package, we could probably include some in there, but this is something we can only buy from hobbyists. So that's what we run into. And you know, I always love showing off our plants pearling because that means they're happy. You can see that tiger lotus. You can see the normal baby tears here, all pearling. These are all the direct plants. In fact, Robert's working on it right now. He's starting to pull plants and get them ready for shipment tomorrow early morning. And you know, so this is about to get ransacked, but we appreciate that. That means you guys value our plants, and that's a good thing. We like that. Besides this koi betta, this is one I showed you earlier in the day. Now that it's here at the store and it's got better light, like, who doesn't think that's a cool looking koi betta? Oh, people usually want to see the plecos. So like there's one of the LDA 33s in the tank, and we've got them at $49.99. A lot of people ask me prices. The Pandagaras are a cool loach. People don't know they're a loach, but they're an algae eater. They can go cooler water, and they typically will do okay with fancy goldfish. So that's like multiple bonuses there. Up here we've got a Dumbo Placat Betta. Kind of just looking good. There's got to be something here that's worth teaching, which you guys are probably going to watch this video and go, tell us about that or that. But I could do two different types of hillstream loach. These guys are cool. These are the reticulated hillstream loach. So they've got that pattern on them. And yeah, they are toted to go cool water and stuff like that, but I find they do just fine at tropical temperatures. They even breed, they thrive. And then you've got things like over here, we've got the Borneo sucker loach, which is just a different type of hillstream loach. And so you can see all these spotted ones. Well, clearly this one's a different one right here as well. So you can get a lot of variety in the Borneo sucker loaches. And they're different species. I'm just not good enough to know what they are, and I haven't spent time to identify them. Over here we've got lots of dwarf petricolas in the back, which are actually lucipinus. And then we've got blue phantom plecos babies. Those are only 25 bucks. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else I've got worth showing here. I mean, there's lots of stuff worth showing, but you know, maybe I'll talk a little bit about stingrays. You know, the sales pitch here is you shouldn't have one. And then when you say, oh, I really want one and I have a big tank, I say, oh, you shouldn't have one. They're going to get large. They've got high bioloads just because they like to stay warm and they like to eat a lot. They're cool. Your friends will think they're cool. But for me personally, I don't keep them because they don't wow me. If I was going to keep them, I would want to spawn them for points just so I can say, hey, I spawned this fish. And the reason I would want to, because it's a live bearer. So stingrays are live bearers. See if I can get it to come up on the glass or anything so you can see its mouth. I'm just irritating it at the moment, but you know, it's got a stinger on it. That stinger, you know, most likely it's not going to kill you, but when it does stab you, what's going to happen is it's going to itch for days and days and days, and it's not going to feel too good. You know, I haven't witnessed anyone get any paralysis or anything from small stingrays like this. And you know, don't provoke them. You don't provoke them, they won't provoke, you know, they won't stab you. And, you know, but really they need a tank that's probably at least 180 gallons, something like that, with not a lot of decorations. You can see here we've got the sponge filter in the corner and nothing else because they need that room to swim around, and that tail's going to get really long. And so you can't put big pieces of wood or anything like that in there unless your tank is really deep front to back, because they don't do well if their tail or if their disc has to curl all the time. Also, you got to watch out with plecos. A lot of times they'll suck on the slime coat, things like that. Also, these guys can also eat small fish like tetras and that kind of stuff. I've seen them pin things like Florida gars to the glass, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, we carry stuff like this, but we spend all day trying to talk people out of owning something like this just because most people aren't going to be ready for it. Well, I've got customers, so back to work. So I thought I'd show this light off. It's the Fluval Prism light, and it basically goes on a suction cup here, and it's got the remote. So it's got all these crazy options. I've got the remote upside down here, but the only bad part is it doesn't have great reception. So like you got to be pointed at it a certain way to work it. So like I got to be pointed at it kind of, if I come over here, it's not receptive. So that's the downfall to it. That being said, It's got a really cool effect where you can light it from the side. So like look at this tank, right now it's on. I could turn it off, that's how dark it would be back there. I could turn it on and I could change it to red. You know, I can do green. In theory, I was stupid enough to dunk the remote in water as I was trying to film. Let's see if I can, so I got blue, there we go, I got green, blue, and you can adjust all these colors. Like let me try a different, let's try like this blue color. So there's all these things you can do. You can also do a lightning storm in there, which is kind of neat. You know, and I like this because it's kind of it's a spotlight, and so I can also just come back here and change it to like full on, let's say. But the cool thing is, fully submersible light, let me grab it here. It's got a wicked strong suction cup, so let me get that off there. But you could use it to highlight anything in your tank. And I kind of want to try it where it was like on the top glass and I only highlighted a couple of areas. It'll also give you the shimmer effect because it's a one LED and it's strong. It's a 3-watt LED. You know, if I shine it on the wall, it's actually pretty bright here compared to these lights that are right next to it. But I do like that you can totally play with it and you know, use it to highlight stuff. So that's something I added to the website. I think it's a cool thing, and you know, it you got the suction cup and you can kind of turn it and you can point it anywhere you want. And yeah, so I think it's cool. It could be some very cool night lighting. It could be you know, used to highlight where a ghost knife lives or something like that. And again, the biggest problem is I put the remote in my pocket. That's where it went. I was like, the biggest problem is the remote. I keep losing it. But you can dim it. You know, I could, in theory, I can dim this thing. Let's see here. There we go. So I've got it, and I can dim it. Yeah, so I'm making it darker. So you know, it's kind of like, I feel like it's the Aqua Sky version of this thing. And, you know, it's fully submersible. That's good. You know, lots of little guppy or molly fry there. But, you know, let me show you what the package looks like. And I feel like it's a cool toy, but it's 60 bucks. So, you know, there's the light there. I know I've got customers coming in, so I'm gonna have to cut this short, but we do sell on the website, and if you're looking for a cool toy to play with, I think this is some fun you can have. And yeah, I haven't done any par results or anything like that on it, so I can't speak for how well it would grow plants, but it's not really designed to do that. It's more highlighting and accentuating. And I bet you, when I did try it in a nano tank, and it lit up a nano tank really well, but I think you'd grow a lot of hair algae or something like that with such an intense light in such a small space. But it was pretty cool. I decided to carry it, and so yeah, I decided to show it to you guys, and I like it. I want to do a tank with them. Alright guys, so you guys asked me if I could show feeding fish a little bit more up close. I'm going to try feeding brine for the first time to these angels, and you know, for the fry obviously, the parents are just going nuts because I'm so close and I'm trying to get to feed it, but let's see if I can, you know, maybe zoom out and back up a little bit. We'll pour a little bit of brine shrimp in here, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm pouring the brine. Now we'll see if we can watch the babies, we can watch their bellies get bigger. So I'm going to let that kind of, you know, sit here for a bit. I'm going to go feed other tanks, and we'll double back and look at their bellies, see if they took it in real well. Alright, well, hopefully, I mean, their yolk sacs could be too big for them to be eating at this point. Oh, but I'm seeing some orange bellies here, so now the trick is, can I show it to you guys? That's going to be the hardest thing here. So let's see if I can get the camera to focus on some of their, you know, the very small fry here. Ooh, it's looking unlikely. But if you can see it, I'm hoping you can see it on camera how their bellies are quite big at the moment. And that's because they can eat this baby brine, and it's all live. It looks like about, I would say, 3/4 of them are able to eat at this point. There's probably some slow hatchers here that aren't quite taking it down. But yes, I can visually watch them eat it, so I know 100% they're eating it. See if we can zoom in a little more. And I know it's going to come in and out of focus here, and that's hard because it's focusing on the adults. But it's really hard to focus on moving baby fry. Maybe if I kind of focus on the gravel maybe. But yeah, so now I just got to hatch out live baby brine for probably at least the next, week or so. That'd be a good, kind of hatch for them, stuff like that. And then I can probably convert them over to frozen foods. And you can do, crushed up flake in my fry food and stuff like that too. But this really helps get your, your fry yield up. It's these very first few days. It almost doesn't matter what they eat so long as they do eat. That's the key part. And it can be very difficult to get some food to some of these babies sometimes. But yep, I can see all the orange bellies on them, which you may or may not be able to see through camera. I've got a little screen I'm looking through, so hopefully you guys, enjoyed that process. Obviously the parents are super angry that I'm this close, and but yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. That's another day in the Fish Room Daily Dose. Tomorrow I got something pretty cool coming, or at least I think so. So we'll see if I can't make something amazing happen tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. Thanks for watching. Like if you haven't already. Eat a taco for me, and we'll see you tomorrow.